who's the most influential person in your judo development overall? Like who's really influenced you as a competitor? And follow up to that, speak to us in regards to your dynamic or your relationship with the coaching and the coaching staff. How important is that for your development as an athlete?
Well, I think though, like the two questions are a bit related because one guy I really admire is Antoine Vola-Fortier, which was a judo competitor for Canada. And when I was young, in 2012, he won a bronze medal at the Olympics. At that time, I was 14 years old, I think, 15 years old. And so I watched him and I was really impressed. And he came to Lac Saint-Jean, gave a training camp. And I remember like taking a picture with him. I did a little fight with him at that training camp and he gave me a couple of tips. And then when I moved to Montreal to train at the INS, well, he was training there. So I started like training with him more regularly. And recently, like the last year and the year before, he was a minus 81 kilogram as I was, and he was competing at the Olympics. So we would fight each other every day for his training. And so, I always thought he was really good. And so he really I would like copy him, I would do what he does. I would train the way he does, and I would try to learn from him when I fight him. So it really influenced me. And right now he just stopped doing judo tournaments this autumn. Right. So now he just became a coach for the national team, and he coached me for some tournaments already, and now he's going to become my coach. So
it's interesting because, as you mentioned, he fought in the same division, the under 81 kilo division. How advantageous is it for you that your coach so happens to have fought in that division and most likely knows just about everyone in that division?
It's really useful because most of the guys I fight, he literally fought those guys himself. He knows exactly the way they are gripping, their best attack. He knows the feeling of fighting. He knows the feeling of fighting these guys. So, for example, if I do a tournament, Antoine was really dedicated to judo, So every opponent he had, whom he will fight often, he would have, a little he would have a document with the guy name and a couple notes about him and some information about him on what to focus when fighting this guy. He would have a lot of information about every fighter. So I get to a tournament, he looks at the pools. Oh, you could fight this guy, this guy, this guy. He goes in his documents and he shows me, oh, this guy, be careful about this. So I think it's really, really useful.
That's brilliant, man. I love hearing that because it's awesome that it's documented and you know what I mean. It's a plan. It's as you mentioned, it's a level of dedication and professionalism as far as how to lay out the strategy for one's opponents.